Hi everyone, welcome to our knowledge share session. Today we're going to look at the unemployment data posted by the government. We're going to see how bad this unemployment can be as it's all over the media now. So by analyzing the data, we come to the United States government website and we use a set of data called ETA 539. The weekly claims trigger data. One of the reasons we use it is because it's updated very frequently, weekly by the government. Here we can download the raw data and also the data mapping files. So how do we analyze this? We have a Python model here. And I can quickly go through the functions we use here. So first we import some packages. The first three are for data analysis, and then the remaining ones are for data visualization. And next, we import the data downloaded, the CSV file downloaded from the government website, and we select the columns that we're going to use. And here, for each column, I would convert the data, raw data, into the desired data types. And as you can see, these columns are named as C1, C2. So using the government data mapping file, we can find what the fields are. And as you can see in the mapping fields, here we will mainly use two metrics. The first one is initial claims. So this one is number of cases filed during each week because it's weekly data. And the next one is unemployment rate. So now let's analyze the data. Here we're going to look at three results based on this data as of that's the most recent one, so as of the end of March. First, we're going to analyze the trend of the data. So here I have a function that you can quote the unemployment claims weekly during a beginning and ending period of time. And here I'm going to use two sets because I want to combine these two sets on the same plot so they can display different colors and I can do a comparison with them. I split the data between 2007 to 2015 and 16 to 2020. And here, these are the plots that can help us look at the data. And our first result is during 2007 to 2020, what is the trend of the initial claims filed each week? I'm going to click on run, and here you can see the data. Wow. So the media keeps saying the 2020 Q1 unemployment filing is high, and it is because in the old days, each week we had up to 1 million cases filed, and now within a shorter period of time, we have up to almost 6 million cases filed each week. All right, so this looks scary. What is the next thing we want to see? We want to see also during 2007 to 2020, what is the unemployment rate is. Because the initial claims can be impacted by many factors. But how about the rate? So we come to the next section of function, and here I use the rate insured unemployment in this averaged by each state. And let's see what it tells us. So you see, it's actually only a little bit higher than usual. And you can see in the unemployment rate was even higher at the end of 2009 and 2010. And well, you can see this graph is small. I'm going to change the graph size to keep it consistent so it looks better. All right. So let's see, why do we have 6 million claims in early 2020, but the unemployment rate is still lower? And here we can find the reason. It's because the rate of insured unemployment is calculated throughout a period of time. So now we use like 13-week period. But right now, the unemployment sharply went up within a shorter period of time, and that can be averaged out through the past 13 weeks. And I'm pretty sure if the situation continues, this line will be higher and higher in the next few weeks. Another thing, as you can see, is these rates are display some fluctuations, regular fluctuations. And the reason why is because unemployment shows very regular seasonal pattern. Well, this is also because the seasonal thing can be impacted by many factors, and one of them could be the industry structure. For example, let's say if in a specific place, if everything counts on tourism in the summer, then that will shows this kind of seasonal pattern. So the unemployment rate, 13-week unemployment rate is not as high yet compared to the last recession. So now let's come to the third result we want to see from this data set. I've been looking at the historical data and did some comparison. What about now? I only want to see the most recent week. As you see, the data was available at the end of March 21st that week. So during that week, I want to see each state, how many cases were filed and what was the rate as of that week in that state. So here, we're going to do a map. I'm going to click on, here, I put a head. As you can see, this is what the data looks like, and I'm gonna do the state map here to visualize our data. So this brings us to a new page. And as you can see, there's a spectrum based on the unemployment rate, with blue as the minimum and going up, red as the top. So as we see on each state, it shows both the unemployment rate and the initial claims of that week. As you see, the most impacted states are Alaska, some states in the East Coast, Montana, California, and some other states. And there are a few states, Arizona, Florida, North Carolina. These states' rates are not as high as the other states. However, if we run this with the claims, that could be a different result. Again, because the unemployment rate is a data average by time. So by seeing that, maybe we can do that. I'm going to change the unemployment rate here with initial claims. And I'm gonna put the unemployment rate at state level. Now I'm going to run this So as you can see, the state with the highest initial claim cases is California. And the remaining ones have around 250,000 to 500,000. However, California has slightly over 1 million cases filed. So this is the section of the unemployment rate analysis. And as you can see, this data is updated weekly by the government, and we just need to download the raw data each week and then run this model without changing anything. That will give us the result